So I guess it's been a year already since the last Nando v Movies collab on YouTube, and I put out my one villainous scene on Spider-Man the PS4 game. Anyway, here we are a year later. He's at it again, bringing together all these wonderful creators to do this thing called one musical scene. If you don't know Nando, of course you do. I'll link him down below. I'll link the playlist down below. Go check that out. But this time, mine's probably going to be kind of short because the scene I'm talking about isn't very long at all. But it's from one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is, of course, 500 Days of Summer. If you know anything about me and my taste of movies, you'll know I'm a sucker when it comes to coming-of-age movies like Superbad and Booksmart, or when it comes to these sort of romantic comedy drama type films like Marriage Story, 500 Days of Summer, or the Don John. That's another good one, also starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Now, based on the fact that I'm covering this movie in this video, you can probably already guess which scene I'm talking about, and that is, of course, this one.
I love the Smiths.
Sorry?
I said I love the Smiths. You've good taste in music.
You like the Smiths?
Now, for those of you that don't know, the story here centers around Tom, who is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Summer, played by Zooey Deschanel. Tom, being a hopeless romantic and greeting card writer, becomes pretty infatuated with the new secretary at his job, Summer. This all stems from that scene we just watched when he realizes that they have very similar interests, such as the Smiths, which he never really expected. Tom then falls for Summer, who, as we learn, doesn't quite view love the same way that he does. The story then follows the highs and lows of their 500 days together, hence 500 Days of Summer. Now, right away, the music throughout the film is so consistent, and it's very well constructed, and I believe that's in big part to Mark Webb, and it almost feels like another character in the film on its own. I say this because even when there isn't a song in one of the scenes, there are still small hints of music thrown in. For example, Tom wears a lot of band t-shirts for The Clash and Joy Division that you notice, and Summer's senior quote was pulled right from a Belle and Sebastian song. Not only that, but the two even have a pretty big disagreement of why Ringo is no one's favorite Beatles member. Music is definitely one of the initial driving forces that brings these two together and fills the entire film from beginning to end. The soundtrack itself has a large range of genres, from singer-songwriter Regina Spektor to indie rock band Black Lips. And being that this is one of my favorite movies of all time, I want to take a look into one of the defining songs of the film. Obviously, that being There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. Like I said, right from the beginning of this film, Tom and Summer bond over their love of the Smiths. One of their first interactions occurs in the elevator at their workplace. Summer runs into the elevator where Tom is standing. She overhears the Smiths blasting through his headphones. She expresses to him how much she loves the band, and he sort of pretends to not hear what she said and just acknowledges her existence. She then goes to say it again, and he takes the headphones off so he can hear better, and she says, "I love the Smiths." And then she goes on to sing one of the famous lyrics from the song, "To die by your side is such a heavenly way to die." Now this scene ends with Summer walking out of the elevator, and Tom is just standing there looking at her, kind of in shock or disbelief, and more so just infatuation with the fact that she took such an interest in something that he also loves. This scene is such a defining moment for the film, as it really is, like I said, the start of his love for Summer. Now, the Smiths as a whole go on to play a large role throughout the entirety of the film, as Tom uses their songs to make Summer believe that their relationship holds significant meaning when she doesn't really see it that way. Now, as a quote from director Mark Webb, every relationship has a soundtrack. In interviews surrounding the film, Zooey Deschanel would acknowledge that for her, a big draw to even starring in this film was the music. Quote, "If they were bonding over some shitty band, that would actually make me close the script," she says, without naming names. But the fact that they liked music that was approved by me because they're bonding over the Smiths, I was like, well, obviously. I mean, not only does Deschanel act in the movie, she even sings in character and on the soundtrack, where her own She and Him cover the Smiths, "Please, please, please, let me get what I want." Now, look, I know this probably wasn't the most interesting video or the longest video in this collab, but this is a movie that I love dearly. Everything about this movie is right up my alley, and I just had to talk about the scene once I saw that this collab was happening. So if you want to make your own video, do it on a scene that uses music in an interesting way. Doesn't really matter what it is. And then send it to Nando, either on Twitter, link him to the video and he'll add it to the playlist, or he has an email that I will put in below on the description and you can send it there and he will add it to the playlist. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you in the next one, which should be my Better Call Saul video, so look out for that.